You've seen us expose online predators.
I didn't come here for anything physical.
Men using the internet to arrange for sex with children.
She invited me over.
Now, the footage you haven't seen.
Are you going to call if you're coming or if you're not?
The defendant will commit future sex offenses.
From the heartland of America, more surprise confrontations. BS talk got you sentenced to prison. Bizarre behavior.
What were you doing with your pants there?
You ask if she does anal.
It's a question.
And busted suspects with nowhere to run.
Just be sharp.
This is Predator Raw.
R. Kelly sits down to tell his side of the story.
In this case, as in the previous investigations, we worked with the computer watchdog group, Averted Justice.
She's got the guy.
Its decoys go into chat rooms posing as 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old kids, home alone, open to the idea of a sexual liaison at a meeting. But they go into chat rooms and they just wait. And they never make the first contact. And sometimes in a matter of minutes, a man is approaching them online. The online chat becomes sexual, and the next thing you know, a meeting is signed.
From the time he hit the scene in 1991 with the group Public Announcement, R. Kelly has been a force to be reckoned with. He's become one of his time's most prolific singer-songwriters, but just like Marvin Gaye, one of his musical influences, Kelly tries to balance a talent that creates uplifting songs like the now classic I Believe I Can Fly, with raw and sometimes raunchy hits like Bump and Grind. The performer is said to share another dubious tie with Gaye. Kelly has been rumored to have romanced underage girls. The whisper started in earnest around 1994 when word was out that he had secretly married a 15-year-old then upcoming singer named Aaliyah. After constant denials from both parties, it was later revealed that the secret marriage had been annulled by a Michigan judge months later. Yet, that seemed not to be an end, but the beginning of troublesome rumors. Stories would surface on the street that Kelly had a penchant for young girls. In 1996 and last August, the singer was hit with suits alleging he had engaged in sex with minors. The singer would settle both suits without admitting guilt. Until recently, Kelly had seemed to weather the storm. That was until the now infamous 26-minute video.
One of his friends came to the studio, and he's speaking to everyone, and just a normal reaction, you speak back. Rob would get upset and say, you're not supposed to speak to them. You don't speak to anybody. You just look straight forward. If they speak to you, you don't say anything. Pretty early on, he kind of introduced you to everything that he was into. It was instructed to call him daddy during sex, but it went from that to pretty much all the time he'd be daddy. The first time Robert had me do sexual acts with him and another female, he actually told me it was going to be his first time and he wanted to do it with me. He would say things like, well, you know, if you love me, you won't try to change me. You know, if you love me, you'll accept me how I am. You know, if you love me, you'll do these things for me. So those would be the little pep talks he would give me. Robert would film our sex acts sometimes. He would never ask me if it was okay to be filmed, but he never hid the camera or anything like that. Once we did the threesome, it became more frequent. Then he started introducing me to other young women.
What was your plan here today, Robert?
The fact that I'm famous and there's just a lot of people coming at me right now, so
You know, I've got the transcripts of your conversation here.
I'm sorry?
I've got the transcripts of your conversation here. You say to him, I'll be your girlfriend and you be my boyfriend, huh? He says, are you a girl? You say, no, sometimes I wish I really was.
No, I was just messing.
Just messing with him. He says, what do you wear? You say, panties, bra.
Around word I don't even know, so, and I know that. Yeah.
It's a pretty sexually charged conversation, Robert, to have with a 13-year-old boy.
And you can't do nothing about something you can't do nothing about. But
He says, do we need rubbers? Do they hurt? I don't know. I don't blank eyes, but if you want to, you can do me. What conclusion am I to draw from this?
I've heard a lot of people that said a lot of things as far as I'm concerned, as far as the tape is concerned, as far as a lot of rumors. But right now I can't really deal with that because I got to deal with, you know, showing people that I'm not guilty. I got to deal with dealing with the fact that I got a life and I got to protect that life.
What it sounds like, Robert, is that you wanted to come here to have a sexual liaison with a 13-year-old boy.
This did it for me. That and then also the long caboose of the trains that comes along with it, people coming out.
The problem, Robert, is that your history would contradict that, given the fact that you are a registered sex offender. Isn't that correct?
Correct.
In fact, that's you right there, right?
Correct.
And what were you convicted of before?
Lewd conduct.
Lewd conduct. Specifically, what was that conduct?
Life going on musically and with my career, you know, this is just not a good time to go to court over something like that. So if you settle, it'd be better. And right now, I wish that I hadn't done that because I think that has a lot to do with the rumor of R. Kelly and the whole.
There was intercourse.
Intercourse. So you had intercourse with a underage boy. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you were convicted of that. How long were you in prison?
I'm sorry?
How long were you in prison for that offense?
I wasn't in prison.
You weren't in prison. You got probation?
Correct.
How long were you on probation?
I'm still on probation.
You're still on probation now. So you're on probation for having sex with a boy, how old?
15.
15.